Good afternoon, students. This is Arvind, Assistant Professor DBSIT Triple E, Kavali. So, in the previous session, I discussed about some various types of FACTS controllers, and in that one, I said about various types of FACTS controllers like series controller, shunt controller, command series to series, and command shunt and series controllers, and some various FACTS controllers also. So in the previous class, I discussed about some shunt controllers, and now I am going to discuss remaining FACTS controllers. So actually, in the previous class, I discussed about some shunt connected controllers like STATCOM, and next SSG, that is static synchronous generator, and next battery energy management storage system, superconducting magnetic energy storage, okay, and static wear compensator. So here I am going to discuss the static wear compensator again, and then I am going to different types. Okay. So static wear compensator. So that is static. What is known as static wear compensator? It is a shunt connected static wear generator or observer. Okay, static wear compensator is one of the type of shunt connected static wear generator or observer. Here, whose output is adjusted to exchange capacitive or inductive current. Okay, a static wear compensator is a shunt connected static wear generator or observer whose output is adjusted to exchange capacitive or inductive current. Okay, so as to maintain or control specific parameters of the electrical power system. Specific parameters of the electrical power system. Okay. So in the static wear compensator, we have different types of compensator like FACTS controllers. There, first one is thyristor controlled reactor, and second one is thyristor switched reactor, and third one is thyristor switched capacitor. These are the three types available in static wear compensator. Okay, because we are taking thyristor controlled reactor, switched reactor, and switched capacitor means the SVC is based on thyristors. The SVC is totally based on thyristors only. That too without the gate turn off capability. Without the gate turn off capability. Okay, so it includes separate equipment for leading and lagging wires. So it includes separate equipment for leading and lagging wires. So if you see this diagram, this is the this diagram contains entire SVC connection, static wear compensator. In that one we have, first one is TSR, that is a thyristor switched reactor, and next we have TCR, that is the thyristor controlled reactor. Two are same, thyristor switched reactor and thyristor controlled reactor. Only some difference is there. I will discuss this one. And next we have TSC, that is the thyristor switched capacitor, and then we have filters, and then we have filter. These are the components we are using in the SVC, static wear compensator. This is the transmission line and this is the transformer. Okay, these are the components we are used in the SVC. Firstly, I will discuss. First one is thyristor controlled reactor. Okay, first one is thyristor controlled reactor. So thyristor controlled reactor. So what is meant by thyristor controlled reactor? So it is a shunt connected. It is a shunt connected controller, and it consists of thyristor controlled inductor. So if you see this diagram, so this one first diagram, TCR and TSR. So this diagram. So actually that thyristor controlled reactor is a shunt connected controller. Okay. It is a thyristor controlled inductor. It consists of a thyristor controlled inductor. So we have one inductor, that is this one, and we have two thyristors in parallel connection, that is the shunt connection. We have two parallel. So one diode, two diodes are in parallel connection, and one inductor or reactor. Okay, this one is thyristor controlled reactor. So it is a shunt connected thyristor controlled inductor whose effective reactance is whose effective reactance is varied in a continuous manner. So in this one, the effective reactance is varied in a continuous manner. Okay, continuous manner by partial conduction control of the thyristor value. By partial conduction control of the thyristor value. This is the explanation for thyristor controlled reactor. Actually, this TCR, thyristor controlled reactor, is a subset of SVC. I already said this one. This is a subset of SVC. That is a static wear compensator. Okay, in which conduction time and hence current in a shunt reactor is controlled by a thyristor based AC switch. Thyristor based AC switch. Okay, this is the thyristor controlled reactor, and next one reactor, and next one is thyristor switched reactor. Thyristor switched reactor, both are same. Here it is also a shunt connected controller. Here we are using thyristor switched inductor. Thyristor switched inductor whose effective reactance is varied in a stepwise manner. So in the previous case, that is the thyristor controlled reactor, the effective reactance is varied in a continuous manner. But in the thyristor switched reactor, the effective reactance is varied in a stepwise manner by full or zero conduction operation. By a full or zero conduction operation of the thyristor valve. Thyristor valve. So in the previous case, it is varied by a partial conduction control of the thyristor value. But in this case, full or zero conduction operation of the thyristor value. This is for TSR and TCR. And next one we have, it is also a subset of SVC. So TSR is also a subset of SVC. Here TSR is made up of several shunt connected inductors. Several shunt connected inductors which are switched in and out by thyristor switches. Which are switched in and out by thyristor switches. If you observe the first diagram, this diagram is for both thyristor controlled reactor and thyristor switched reactor. Okay, these two are subsets of SVC. Switched synchronous static wear compensator. So here it is made up of several shunt connected inductors which are switched in and out by thyristor switches without any firing angle controls. Why? Because in order to achieve the required step changes in the reactive power consumed from the system. Okay, and next one is TSC. Second diagram, TSC. That is thyristor switched capacitor. That is thyristor switched capacitor. So here we have, it is also a shunt connected controller. It consists of a thyristor switched capacitor. This one. In the previous case we have inductor. In this case we have capacitor. Okay, this is a thyristor switched capacitor. Here, whose effective reactance is varied in a stepwise manner. Here also, the effective reactance is varied in a stepwise manner by full or zero conduction operation of the thyristor valve. Full or zero conduction operation of the thyristor valve. So this TSC is also a subset of SVC. Okay, this TSC is also a subset of SVC, in which thyristor based AC switches are used to switch in and out shunt capacitor units. Why? Because in order to achieve the required step change in the reactive power supplied to the system. Okay, TSC is also one of the subset of SVC. So in which thyristor based AC switches are used to switch in and out shunt capacitor units in order to achieve the required step change in the reactive power supplied to the system. Required power supplied to the system. Okay. So next one we have, these are the three, and next we have static wear generator or observer. Static wear generator or observer. So I already said in the static wear compensator, static wear generator or observer. Here also I am taking static wear generator or observer. So it is a static electrical device. This static wear generator is a static electrical device or equipment or system. Okay. So it is capable of drawing controlled capacitive or inductive current from an electrical power system. So why we are using this static wear generator? Why? Because it is capable of drawing controlled capacitive or inductive current from an electrical power system. Okay. And thereby generating or absorbing reactive power. And thereby generating or absorbing the reactive power, generally considered to consist of shunt connected thyristor controlled reactors or thyristor switched capacitors, both, either one of these we are using. Okay, and next we have static wire system. Static wire system. So static wire system is, it is a combination of different static and mechanically switched wire compensators. So static wire system is a combination of different static and mechanically switched wire compensators whose outputs are coordinated. So what is the static wire system? It is a combination of different static and mechanically switched wire compensators whose outputs are coordinated. This is for static wire system. And next one we have thyristor controlled braking resistor, TCBR. Thyristor controlled braking resistor, TCBR. So here TCBR is a shunt connected thyristor switched resistor. So TCBR is a shunt connected thyristor switched resistor. So which is controlled to aid stabilization of a power system, or to minimize power acceleration of a generating unit, during a disturbance. So this is for thyristor control braking resistor. Okay. So this involves cycle by cycle switching of a resistor. Usually a linear resistor we are used. So with a thyristor based AC switch with firing angle control. So this is for TCBR. And next, so up to we discussed about shunt connected controllers, different shunt connected controllers. Now I am coming to series connected controllers. So in the series connected controllers, we have the first one is static synchronous series compensator. In shortly we will call it as SSC. Static synchronous series compensator. This is normally called as SSC. So here a static synchronous generator operated without an external electric energy source. A static synchronous generator operated without an external electric energy source as a series compensator. Here, whose output voltage is in quadrature with a controllable independently of the line current. So here, it is a static synchronous generator operated without an external electric energy source as a series compensator. Here, whose output voltage is quadrature with and controllable independently. So here, the line current for the purpose of increasing or decreasing the overall reactive voltage drop. So here output voltage is quadrature with and controllable independently to the line current. Okay, here output voltage is quadrature with and controllable independently the line current for the purpose of increasing or decreasing the overall reactive voltage drop. Across the line, and thereby controlling the transmitted electric power. Okay, and then the SSC may include transiently rated energy storage. So SSC may include transiently rated energy storage or energy absorbing devices. Why? Because to enhance the dynamic behavior of the power system. By additional temporary real power compensation. And also to increase or decrease momentarily, and then the overall real voltage drop across the line. So actually the SSC may include transiently rated energy storage or energy absorbing devices to enhance the dynamic behavior of the power system by additional temporary real power compensation to increase or decrease momentarily the overall real voltage drop across the line. So this is for SSC, and we have the diagram for this one. So this one. So here we are using a transformer. Okay, this is the single line representation of transformer and the line, and we have the thyristor control devices in the box, and we have one capacitor, and then in this figure we have same connection, but we have the interface and storage system. So here the SSC is one of the most important FACTS controllers. The SSC is the one of the most important FACTS controllers. So it is like a STATCOM, except that the output AC voltage is in series with the line. So it can be based on a voltage source converter. So SSC is also based on a voltage source converters or current source converter. Okay. And then we have, in the figure we have one battery storage system. Okay, in the second diagram, B diagram, we have one storage system, battery storage system or superconducting magnetic storage. So these can also be connected to a series controller. So this is a series controller. Up to now, this one A diagram is a series controller. So for the series controller, I am connecting a storage system. Okay, so this storage system is used to inject a voltage vector of variable angle in series with the line. Okay, to inject a voltage vector of variable angle in series with the line. For that purpose, we are using the storage system. So this diagram. Okay, and in this one you have to observe one point. Here the SSC can only inject a variable voltage. SSC can only inject a variable voltage which is 90 degrees lagging or leading or lagging the current. Okay, SSC can only inject a variable voltage which is 90 degrees leading or lagging the current. Okay, here the primary of the transformer and hence the secondary as well, as the converter has to carry full line current including the fault current unless the converter is temporarily bypassed during several line faults. So here we are using the transformers. Primary, you already know that the transformer consists of two windings, primary and secondary. So here in this one, the transformer ratio is tailored to the most economical converter design. So if you observe this first diagram, without an external energy source, without an extra energy source, the SSC can only inject a variable voltage. So without an extra energy source, SSC can only inject a variable voltage, so which is 90 degrees leading or lagging the current. Actually the primary of the transformer and hence the secondary as well as the converter has to carry full line current including the fault current. Okay, unless the converter is temporarily bypassed during severe line faults. So this is for the SSC. Okay, and next one, interline power flow controller. Actually this interline power flow controller is the combination of two or more static synchronous series compensators. Nothing but SSC. So this is a combination of two or more static synchronous series compensators which are coupled via a common DC link. Which is coupled via a common DC link to facilitate bidirectional flow of real power between the AC terminals of the SSCs. So actually the IPFC is a combination of two or more SSCs. So which are coupled via a common DC link to facilitate bidirectional flow of real power between the AC terminals of the SSC. And these are controlled to provide independent reactive compensation for the adjustment of real power flow in each line, and maintain the desired distribution of reactive power flow among the lines. So this is the interline power flow controller. So this is a recently introduced controller. IPFC is a recently introduced FACTS controllers. Okay. And then we have different FACTS controllers for the SSC. Those are, first one is TCSC, that is thyristor controlled series capacitor, and second one is thyristor switched series capacitor, and third one is thyristor controlled series reactor, and fourth one is thyristor switched series reactor. So these four are the different FACTS controllers in the series controllers, that to static synchronous series compensators, SSC. So if we observe the first diagram A, so this one is for SSC. So up to now we discussed the SSC, that this is for SSC, and next one is SSC with storage. This one is only for SSC. First A diagram, and B diagram is for SSC with storage, and C. So this diagram, C diagram, is for thyristor controlled series capacitor, and D diagram is for thyristor controlled series reactor, and thyristor switched series reactor. This diagram is same, D diagram. So this is for TCSR and TSSR. So TCSR and TSSR we have same diagram, and also for the TCSC and TSSC we have the same diagram, C diagram. So C diagram is for TCSC, that is the thyristor controlled series capacitor, and TSSC, that is thyristor switched series capacitor. Okay, and D diagram is for thyristor controlled series reactor and thyristor switched series reactor. Okay, so if you observe the C diagram, that is TCSC and TSSC, we have, so it is a capacitive reactance compensator. So this one is a capacitive reactance compensator. So it consists of a series capacitor bank. Shunted by a thyristor controlled reactor. So why? Because in order to provide a smoothly variable series capacitive reactance. Okay, this is for TCSC. Okay, it is a capacitive reactance compensator, so which consists of a series capacitor bank. If you see the diagram, this is a capacitive series capacitor bank shunted by a thyristor controlled reactor. Okay, Why? Because in order to provide a smoothly variable series capacitive reactance. Okay, so this TCSC is based on thyristors. So TCSC is based on thyristors without the gate turn-off capability, and it is an alternative to the SSC. And like an SSC. It is an alternative to SSC and above and like an SSC, and it is a very important FACTS controller. Here we are using a variable reactor. Such as thyristor controlled reactor, that is TCR, is connected across a series capacitor. So this reactor is connected across a capacitor. Okay, so when the TCR firing angle is 180 degrees, when the TCR, that is the thyristor controlled reactor, firing angle is 180 degrees, the reactor becomes non-conducting. And the series capacitor has its normal impedance. Okay, if the firing angle is advanced from 180 degrees to less than 180 degrees, the capacitor impedance increases. Okay, and next TSSC, that is the thyristor switched series capacitor. So it is a capacitive reactance compensator. It is also a capacitive reactance compensator, which consists of a series capacitor bank shunted by a thyristor switched reactor. Why? Because to provide a stepwise control of series capacitor reactance. In the previous case, that is for TCSC, it is in order to provide a smoothly variable series capacitor reactance. Smoothly variable series capacitor reactance, and in this one, it is used for smoothly stepwise control of series capacitor reactance. Stepwise control of series capacitor reactance. Okay. And next we have TCSR and TSSR. D diagram. D. If you observe this D diagram, we have two TSSC and TCSR. One is thyristor switched series capacitor. Sorry, thyristor controlled series reactor TCSR and thyristor switched series reactor TSSR. TSSR. So if you observe the first one, that is TCSR, it is an inductive reactance compensator. Previously we seen TCS and TSSC, it is a capacitive reactance compensator, and now this is an inductive reactance compensator. Inductive reactance compensator. So which consists of series reactor, shunted by a thyristor controlled reactor. So it consists of a series reactor shunted by a thyristor controlled reactor in order to provide a smoothly variable series inductive reactance. Smoothly variable series inductive reactance. That is for TCSR. And next one, TSSR. So it is also an inductive reactance compensator, which consists of a series reactor shunted by a thyristor controlled reactor in order to provide a stepwise control of series inductive reactance. So in the previous case we are using the capacitor and reactor. In this case we are using two reactors. Okay, this is for this one TCSC, TSSC, TCSR and TSSR. Okay, these are all for combined series controllers. Okay, next one and last one is combined shunt and series connected controllers. Combined shunt and series connected controllers. So in this one we have three types. One is UPFC, Unified Power Flow Controller, and next one we have thyristor controlled phase shifting transformer, and another one is interface power controller. These three are the combined shunt and series connected controllers. In that one, first one is Unified Power Flow Controller. So Unified Power Flow Controller. So Unified Power Flow Controller, B diagram. So this one, B diagram is for Unified Power Flow Controller. So if you observe this diagram, I will explain this one. So it is a combination of STATCOM and SSSC. Okay, it is a combination of STATCOM and SSSC. If you observe this diagram, in the left hand side we have STATCOM, and in the right hand side we have SSSC. These two are combined by using a DC link. These two are coupled together by using a DC link. Okay. Why? Because to allow bidirectional flow of real power. To allow bidirectional flow of real power between the series output terminals of the SSSC and shunt output terminals of the STATCOM. Okay. STATCOM is a shunt connected controller. SSSC is a series connected controller. So in this one, the DC link is used because to allow bidirectional flow of real power between the series output terminals of the SSSC and shunt output terminals of the STATCOM, and these are controlled to provide concurrent real and reactive series line compensation. Concurrent real and reactive series line compensation without an external electric energy source. Okay. This is for UPFC, and we have another one, that is TCPST. So A diagram. So this is thyristor control phase shifting transformer. Thyristor control phase shifting transformer, or this is also called as thyristor controlled phase angle regulator. Thyristor controlled phase angle regulator, TCPR. So what is meant by thyristor controlled phase shifting transformer? Here a phase shifting transformer adjusted by thyristor switches. Here we are using a phase shifting transformer. It is adjusted by thyristor switches to provide a rapidly variable phase angle. To provide a rapidly variable phase angle. Okay. So this is for TCPST. And next one we have interface power controller. Interface power controller. We don't have a diagram for this one. I will explain this one. Interline power flow control IPC. So it is a series connected controller of active and reactive power. So it is a series connected controller of active and reactive power consisting in each phase. Okay, a series connected controller of active and reactive power consisting in each phase of inductive and capacitive branches subjected to separately phase shifted voltages. So this IPC is a series connected controller of active and reactive power consisting in each phase. It consists of inductive and capacitive branches subjected to separately phase shifted voltages. Here the active and reactive power can be set independently. Why? Because by adjusting the phase shifts or branch impedances using mechanical or electron switches. Okay, why we are using this IPC means this is used, the active and reactive power can set independently by adjusting the phase shifts and the branch impedances using mechanical or electronic switches. So in the particular case where the inductive and capacitive impedances from a conjugate pair, each terminal of the IPC is a passive current source. Okay, this is for IPC. So these are the different FACTS controllers available in this one. So, and these are also we will discuss in the second, third and fourth and fifth chapters. In the second chapter we will discuss VSC and CS, that is voltage source converter and current source converter, and next we will discuss this one STATCOM and then SSC and then IPFC and UPFC. These are all we are going to discuss in the coming chapters. So next, last concept in the first chapter is benefits of FACTS technology. So this question will be asked for 5 marks or 10 marks or 2 marks. Okay, benefits of FACTS controllers. We have different benefits of FACTS controllers. In that one, first one is control of power flow. Control or advantages of FACTS controllers. Benefits of FACTS controllers are advantages of FACTS controllers. So in this one, the control of power flow in the transmission system. The control of power flow in the transmission system by controlling line impedances, angle and voltage. So you already know this point. The control of power flow in the transmission system by controlling line impedance X, angle theta and voltage V. And next, optimum power flow for certain objective. We have to take the optimum power flow for certain objective. And next one, increase the loading capability of the lines to their thermal capabilities, including short-term and seasonal variation. For that one also we are using these FACTS controllers, not other. So to increase the loading capability of the lines to their thermal capability, like short-term and seasonal variation, we are using this FACTS controller. And this can be accomplished by overcoming other limitations. So this can be accomplished by overcoming other limitations and sharing of power among lines to their capabilities. Okay, this can be accomplished by overcoming other limitations and sharing of power among lines to their capabilities. And then increase the system security. Increase the system security through raising the transient stability limit and limiting the short circuit currents and overloads. So by using this, we will increase the system security. And next, and it also provides secure tie line connections to neighboring utilities. So it provides secure tie line connections to neighboring utilities and regions. Why? Because by decreasing overall generation reserve requirements on both sides. So thereby decreasing overall generation reserve requirements on the both sides. And it also provides greater flexibility in siting new generation. And it provides greater flexibility in siting new generation. And FACTS controllers is used for upgrade of lines. And next, it is used to reduce reactive power flows. It is used to reduce reactive power flows. And then it is allowing the lines to carry more active power. So when we reduce the reactive power flow, it automatically allows the lines to carry more active power. And it also reduces loop flows. It also reduces loop flows and increase the utilization of lower cost generation. The FATS controllers is used to increase the utilization of lower cost generation. So thank you. This is the concepts we discussed in this session.